We are back with another jam-packed episode of Lunes Live. Your favorite compas got you covered with some of our NFL Week 4 takeaways. Obviously, we want to save some for Tuesday with the four compas. Puka Nakua has a big day to help the Rams. It seems like it's the Puka Nakua show, and people were saying, "Hey, Devontae's coming in." I don't know. I think Devontae might be taking away some snaps from or some balls away from Puka, and that has not been the case as they beat the Colts 27-20. I will have to ask Gilbert about one certain play that I'm not too sure about. And then we'll get into the Chargers losing their first game of the season to the New York Giants. I was there, so I got some stuff to tell you guys. Obviously, yesterday, we were not able to do a recap of the game just because it was a mess to get out of that stadium. The bus that we were supposed to take left us. Then it was, oh, hey, well, you can jump on the tram. That took another hour. So it was just a pain in the ass, but we continue. All right, Gilberto, don't you have an engagement question for our viewers and or listeners? If not, I got one.
Yeah, you know what? Flash it, but before you do, it feels like I always start the show by complaining. But Fernando, I'm glad you took one here for a change to complain and talk about how bad New York is. So or New Jersey, whatever you want to call it. So I'm ready to hear those stories. But what is the question you got so I can ask the people?
How concerned are you about the health of Justin Herbert moving forward?
Oh, okay, that's a good way to say it. How concerned are you about this crappy Chargers offensive line to protect the franchise, Justin Herbert? Let me know in the comments. And we will get into it, but I think there is some real concern there for the protection of Justin Herbert. I think that's a good question by you, Fernando.
So I started doing the numbers yesterday while we were sitting there towards the end of the game, because as soon as Alohi got that fourth down convert where he was able to hit the receiver in the back of the end zone and the Chargers get the ball back, I'm like, they're not winning this game. Like, and that's what I wrote about. I'm like, Justin Herbert usually is asked to wear the cape, the Superman cape, and he can. But you had Thibodeau, Carter, and Dexter Lawrence, and I'm forgetting. Oh, Brian Burns breathing down his neck the whole game. There was no way he was going to be able to do. Yeah, exactly. There was no way he was going to be able to keep that up the whole game, and he took shots. So I did the stats, and after the game, I asked Jim point blank. Somebody asked him Popper asked him the first question. I can't remember what he asked. And I go, Jim, how concerned are you that Justin has taken 40 hits this season, 24 hits in the 26 hits the last two games, and he's been pressured over 60% of his snaps in the last 2 weeks, especially? Well, I mean, something's got to change. I mean, we got to do something. And he gave me a political question. I asked Justin the same thing. Justin kind of looked at me. And he kind of goes, well, that's a part of football. Like, it's football. That's what's going to happen.
He's not going there. He's not going to throw his.
No. And I wasn't expecting him to do that. Yeah. But I asked him physically, how are you feeling? And he said, well, that's just a part of football. That I'm feeling okay. I'm fine, this, that. But there was 2 times, Gilbert. I don't know if the camera showed it. There was twice where he was crawling on the ground and he kind of stood up and he kind of took a deep breath and went. There was another time, the Brian Burns sack, he got sacked. He grabbed the ball and he smacked it against the ground. He won't say it, but he's pissed. And I'm going to write about it this week, and I'm going to give you a sneak peek. Jim Harbaugh promised, I want to get Justin Herbert to win a Super Bowl. That's not the way you're going to get him to win a Super Bowl. He's going to get his head taken off. Like, the way that he is getting hit, the way he's getting, and then obviously there is a concern that I've kind of noticed he doesn't get those whistles. Herbert is the Big Ben of this. Herbert is this generation's Big Ben, where he's not going to get those late flag calls when he gets hit late. He's not going to get those because at any moment, Herbert could bounce off of him, take off running, and create a first down and create a highlight play. He's not going to get those calls the same way Big Ben used to not get those calls. But going back to it, and I'm not even going to go as far as the offseason, because in the offseason, everybody noticed, everybody knew at tackle you're set. It's the other 3 positions that you need to worry about. Yeah. They got one. They got Mekhi Becton. He had a concussion. Nobody could have expected Joe Wall to go out 2 snaps into the game. I put that first quarter for the Chargers was a Stephen King book. That's exactly what it was for them. And then in the third quarter, it was a Stephen King book for the Giants when Malik Neighbors went down. And it's funny because, well, not funny, but Joe Alt he wanted to stay in the game. And I wrote about it yesterday, and somebody's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, he was waving it off. He said, "Don't come in here. I'm okay." Obviously, he gets taken out. But just to go back to the Justin Herbert thing, you're going to face more talent in the next couple of weeks. The Commanders have a great they have a good pass rush. The Dolphins, I know the Dolphins are bad, but they have a very good pass rush. You're going to face the Colts. The Colts have a good defense. They have DeForest Buckner. You're going to face a lot of talent coming up, and that's the problem. And like Derwin said after the game, we should be talking about Tuli Tuipulotu having 4 sacks and Omarion Hampton having a breakout game. But unfortunately, that's not what they're talking about. They're talking about the offensive line. Gilbert, my final point. This is the thing, too. They're not going to – Michael Hart, thank you so much for hey, Michael, that was a great atmosphere. Your team brought it yesterday. It was so exciting to hear the way Jackson Dart got cheered. And then when Russ came in, they booed the shit out of him. It was hilarious. But, Gilbert, there's no easy fix to this when it comes to the offensive line. Like, I know people on social media are freaking out, and they're like, we need to make a trade.
Yeah.
You can't make a trade. Who?
No.
Everybody still believes that they're in this. Even the 0-3 Giants yesterday, they believe they're still in this. A lot of teams still believe that they're in this. The closest that you could probably get to making a trade is late October after that Vikings game. Is probably the earliest you're going to be. Oh, shit, and you play the Vikings also. Yeah. So there's a lot coming up. I don't know what they're going to do. They don't want to run the football. I don't know what's up with that. They've refused to run the football in the first 4 weeks of the game. And Omarion yesterday on 12 carries had 100 and almost 30 yards rushing. That was great. But I'll give it up to you, Gilbert. But I just, this isn't the Greg Roman, Jim Harbaugh style of offense that I've seen. I don't know if they're trying to say, hey, we have Justin, let's force feed him, let's have him throw.
Yeah.
But that's not working. I mean, it is working because you're 3-1, but it's not working because he's getting the crap beat out of him. But Gilbert, and Jim said, changes are coming. I don't know how much I believe it, but Gilbert, let us know what you think.
There's a lot for me to touch on there, and because I'm in agreement for the most part also. And you came ready, Fernando. You came with a bunch of good points that I've been thinking about for this team here. And and I'll start with the coaching. I think part of it is that Greg Roman and Harbaugh built this scheme to finally unleash Justin Herbert. And then it's like, crap, all these linemen are getting hurt. Rashawn Slater got hurt. Joe Alt got hurt. Mekhi Becton got hurt. We already knew about the other spots being a little shaky, but when you got guys like that, for the most part, you can hold up. And I'll even criticize myself a bit for praising the Chargers, but not thinking too much into the offensive line. But Joe Alt was playing so well that he was masking a lot of the issues. Like he was holding up this patchwork offensive line, and then you just lose back then, you lose all, and it just all came crumbling down. So, part of me wants to be like, okay, it's still early in the season, and maybe the coaching staff doesn't want to go away from what got them to 3-1 or 3-0. They don't want to tweak too much. Also, that having guys like Joe Alt trying to go back on the field, it's week 4. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna survive. So I'm not trying to have people panic here.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But the O-line is going to be lasting implications. And you're right, Fernando. There's nothing out there on the trade market. And I just started doing my research on the trading block because I got to do a bunch of stories at SI for the November 4th deadline. And I'm like, who's going to give up linemen? Even the teams like you mentioned, the bad teams. Good linemen just don't become available. If you're Cam Robinson, you've been traded twice in the past year. That's a big red flag there. You're just not that good. And all you're good enough is to make you last through an injury wave. That's all these linemen who are available are worth for. Like they're, over the hill. Maybe they're reliable to an extent, but they're eventually going to hurt you. And so, maybe just try to hold it down with keeping Joe Alt healthy. But to your another point, I'm trying to keep track of the points here, Fernando, because again, you brought the A game. You got to tweak it. You got to go more on Omarion Hampton. You got to run the football more. Maybe you didn't want to do that, but that's what you guys do, Roman and Harbaugh. You know how to be physical, smash mouth football. It doesn't help that you have a rookie that you're relying on a rookie to have more carries. That could be part of it too. I do know sometimes the old school coaches don't want to give too much too soon to a rookie. The Najee Harris injury does hurt too, but you can't keep doing the same thing and drop back because you're gonna get Herbert hurt out there or killed or whatever you want to say. But the point is too, like, look at the sample size. Enough with the whole thing that Herbert can't be clutch. Herbert can't do it. He is leading his team week in and week out. Now that you've proven it, who gives a crap about style points? Go run the damn football, protect your guy at all costs. Even if you just go and stumble into 11 wins again, when the time comes to be healthy and ready and to unleash Herbert, now that you know how to do it, unleash him in the playoffs. For right now, just be healthy, get by, don't get style points. Be the Philadelphia Eagles, even be the freaking Chiefs. But the Chiefs don't win with style points, but they just kind of find ways. So do something to protect your quarterback. That is number one right there, Fernando. And yeah, you're not gonna get anything on the offensive line front for the trade market. Maybe an edge rusher you can find something, but even those guys don't do much for you. So, look at last year. Who was the biggest trade commodity? Marshawn Lattimore. What has he done in Washington? He's been over the hill. So, trust the process, follow the plan here. Yes, there are some big implications here with the O-line, but I still think this team is very damn good. I still think
agree.
they have a better team than the Buffalo Bills, who almost lost to the Saints at home when everybody thought they're going to blow them out. And the Saints are a lot worse than the freaking Giants. So the thing about football, if you got pass rushers, you're going to have a chance week in and week out. That's just the name of the game. So, hey, the Giants came to play. Kudos to them. But still, the Chargers defense held Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterboot to 21 points. For the most part, it wasn't a terrible performance. It was just the other side wasn't holding up.
11 points off of turnovers. And I mean, I had one defensive player tell me he's like, the kid has some juice, but they went Bush League college football style. Like, hey, don't lose us this game. And one of the players even told me, I worry about him now that Malik's out. So I thought that was pretty interesting as well. I'm like, okay, that is interesting. Malik's now out, and who's going to be a security blanket, the guy that he goes to. Both of your interceptions that you threw were both brought back to the 2-yard line. The first one, that was just a great play by Dexter Lawrence to smack it up and intercepted. The second one, I was in agreement. I thought that was pass interference on the defense. I understood why they went offensive, but I was a little surprised by that call. But again, you have to be able to overcome moments like this, and the defense did their part yesterday. They came up, but I don't want to go to that. I want to go to this part. If what you need to do is go quick, you have 2 great receivers to go quick. 3, not 3 great. You have 2 solid receivers that you can go quick with when it comes to Keenan Allen and Ladd McConkey. You want to add a third? Trey Harris is probably pretty good at quick boom, boom. Quentin's I think that's where Quentin struggles with his game, the quick stuff. But there's other stuff you can do, like in when they played in Brazil, where they put him at fullback or at right by the tight end, and Herbert did a rollout. Again, they haven't done rollouts either since that Kansas City and the Raider game. I'm like, what are we doing here? So there's just been a lot of stuff that they could do. I still see fans on Twitter trying to trade Quentin for offensive lineman. I'm like, you guys do see he's receiver number 1 right now. Like, Quentin's killing it. He's balling no matter who they're putting in front of him. And you guys want to still trade him? Like, I don't know. I just think it's a little bit ridiculous.
The middle part of the field, the slants too, like doesn't require a lot of
That's what I'm saying. That's what they just go quick.
Find ways.
Yeah. Exactly. And last point, Ladd. Everybody's worried about Ladd. I think he's going to be fine. I think I saw a stat right now. ESPN says that he's the 4th best receiver at getting open. Herbert's gonna find him at some point. It's taking time. He's trying to. Herbert's trying to build the rapport with Keenan Allen again. He's building this rapport now where he looks down the field. It's to what's his name? It's to Quentin. He's gonna feel it out, and they're gonna be fine.
Even Gatson gets more run too. He's a tight end and can help you out right away.
Exactly. So I agree with you. They're gonna be fine. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they came in and beat Washington next weekend, even with Jaden back and stuff. But it's just gonna be they're gonna have to muscle down, and Greg's basically gonna have to grab the playbook, throw it in the fire, and be like, all right, we gotta start over new. We got to do some different things. But I really think that Omarion's ready to carry a load and be able to get stuff going. But I understand their O-line's a disaster, but if they get Mekhi back, they'll be in a better spot moving forward. It's just man, I just couldn't believe some of the Jamari Sawyer and Bradley Bozeman should never play next to each other again. Like, it was really bad, dude. I like in one of those, I just like you kind of feel for Herbert a little bit having to go through that. But yesterday, like I said, what's his name? Omarion had 3 really good runs. One was a 29-yarder. The other was an 18-yarder. I don't know if you saw Gilbert. He carried two corners on his back,
Yeah.
and it was only a 3rd and 1. He got 18 out of it, and then he had the 54-yard touchdown. That actually Trey Harris came into motion. He hit a block, and thanks to that, Omarion was able to get there. But again, I'm not concerned about the rest of the team. The offensive line, obviously, you are concerned, but I still think this is a playoff team. I still think this is one of the better teams. I think they're going to be fine moving forward. It's just they need to get guys go. The fact that Joe Walt wants to get a second option tells me he feels like he can play probably in 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe. Like that's how bad he wants to be out there battling for his guys. So, but like you said, Gilbert, it's a long season. You're going to be fine. But all right, let's move over now. Any final thoughts, or you're good?
No, I'm with you. Like, especially the Commanders game where they don't have a lot of pass rushers. Maybe you'll be fine, and maybe you find that alternative plan for week 6. But yeah, still a lot of football to be played.
I completely agree. Let me ask you a question. So obviously the Rams, Matthew Stafford, 29 of 41, 375, 3 touchdowns, an 88-yard throw to Tutu Atwell to win the game. Surprisingly enough, Cam Bynum tingles his feet. He goes down, and that was all she wrote. Obviously, Danny Dimes turns back into Dammy turns himself back into Danny Pennies, throws a pick late to Cam Curl. Let me ask you a question because I didn't see the game. I was in a whole mess out in New York, but let me ask you, what happened on that Jonathan Taylor play where he smacks the 2 running backs or the 2 defenders? He turns around and he hits up field because I saw a flag thrown, but I didn't know what it was for, and I didn't know why that was called back. Can you explain that one to me?
Yeah, it was A.D. Mitchell, the second-year wide receiver out of Texas, who had a pretty bad holding call. And it wasn't the most horrendous holding call, but it's not one you just let go. It was one that, it affected Nate Landman to get to the hole there. But honestly, it would have been very difficult for Landman to catch Jonathan Taylor. But hey, the wide receiver needed to learn on that play.
That was a hell of a move.
Yeah, and just like also when he dropped the ball before crossing the end zone, and I kept telling Victor and House of Horns, I'll give the Colts respect. I'm not gonna give them too much respect because they still are just AFC South contenders, and that's about it to me. They're not gonna make any damage in the AFC when you get to the playoffs, but they just don't know how to play in that moment in tight games. And that Denver game in week 2, it felt like the Broncos were just screwing up too much, where the Colts were like, all right, we'll take it. All right, yeah, you want to, have a special teams mishap here at the end? Screw it. We'll take the W here. But the Rams were ready to play in the 4th quarter. Sean McVay had some great calls. He wasn't even conservative. He went for on 4th down. He fed Puka Nacua. Sometimes it's not that complicated. Feed your best playmaker, and that's Puka Nacua. The defense came to play. Jared Verse and Gang were putting a lot of pressure on Daniel Jones. So, and honestly, I was shocked that Tutu Atwell got the ball. People probably thought it was going to be Devontae or Puka, and here comes the guy who has no catches this season. Boom, 88 yards for a touchdown to the house. See you later, Cameron Bynum, who said SoFi Stadium has fake crowd noise, and I don't know if it's true or not. Sorry, Fernando, but we need to find out. But I doubt that's true. But the point is, the Colts weren't ready to play, and Mitchell didn't know the rules. Daniel Jones looked pretty lost out there. Execution wasn't there for the defense. So, hey, credit to the Rams. They probably should have lost that game, Fernando. But for the most part, they executed it at the most crucial times.
I couldn't believe that the kid out of Texas. I couldn't believe that he pulled a Deshaun Jackson, fumbling the ball right before. Like you're getting ready to celebrate instead of like just focusing on scoring the football, like scoring the touchdown, putting your team ahead. And he hurt them twice. He took away 14 points out of them.
Cost them the game twice.
So they're like, oh, Happy Gilmore says that the Colts are a real team.
Happy, I get it, but I know Rams fans have been pushing back as like this is some kind of signature victory for the Rams. You guys are better than that. Come on, I'm gonna disagree here. I ate crow on the Tutu Atwell thing. I did say Fernando. I told Happy and
I was wondering what that was.
I said don't expect Tutu Atwell to do anything. He has 0 catches all year. He got $10 million for doing nothing, and then wins the game. I think $10 million worth it for him to win the game like that. So hey,
he had 1 catch for 88 yards. That is hilarious.
That's what he does. He averages 2 catches per season, and each catch is for 45 yards. It's like he has like a whopping yards per catch average, and it's like he just has 2 catches per season. But somehow they keep him around. I thought it was blackmail at some point, Fernando, but it turns out he's a good player, and I just got to eat crow on it.
Tom, real quick, he's getting a second evaluation or second opinion to see how long he has to be out. So after they get that, I'm sure they're going to make their decision. But Joe, from all I heard in the locker room yesterday, Joe wants to come back as soon as possible to help the team out. He doesn't want to leave them out in the cold. So we'll see what happens with that. The Rams impressed me just because I know that they had the mishap last week against the Eagles, but they bounced back. I mean, today, yeah, like you said, yesterday could have been an easy game where they lose, and maybe they should have lost, but the good teams find ways to win those tough games, and the Rams did it. I mean, Matthew Stafford played perfect. I think right now, I mean, I don't know how other people are feeling, but I think Puka is one of the front runners for MVP for sure.
Oh, as a not just offensive player of the year.
I see that's the thing is that I think people will throw it like that, but I think Puka's showing that you don't have to get like he's outperforming all the first round receivers that that have all gotten paid again. And you know the Rams need to get this done sooner rather than later. They need to pay him soon because
he's due in the offseason. Like, got to pay him right away.
It's going up, and it's going to go up. So I think they need to get him done, but Puka's at 42 catches for 503 yards and surprisingly only 1 touchdown, I believe.
I think I saw somebody say that that's the same amount as Cooper Kupp during his Triple Crown year. So they're in the same pace right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, the thing is, there's always one receiver that's really going to shine when it comes to Sean McVay's system. It's Puka. I mean, don't get me wrong. Devontae, four catches, 56 yards and 1 touchdown. That's great. I mean, that's still pretty good contribution. All three or both of your receivers scored. But I just think Puka does all the dirty work, and that's what Cooper used to do. Cooper used to do all the dirty work of the Rams offenses. Now it's Puka, the one that does all the dirty work. And I was seeing, I mean, again, I didn't watch the full game, but Puka takes hard hits, man. Like there's some plays where
he left the field for a bit. I feel like every week he's out for a little bit, and then he comes back in and balls out.
But you don't need to take all those unnecessary hits. So again, I remember Antonio Gates said the best advice I can give Keenan Allen is as soon as you catch it, if you feel like you're about to get whacked, go down right away. He's like, there's no, well, he said it a different way, but he's like, going down sometimes has its advantages. And I just started laughing.
What year is that? Like year 13, I lost track. So it does make sense.
Yeah. So and that's the thing. And Keenan's learned now. Keenan, there was a play yesterday where he caught it. He had the first down and he just fell on his butt. And he's like, all right, cool. Got it. So again, I think Puka's one of my favorite players to like watch. Like I just think the dude is a baller. 2 weeks ago, it looked like he had taken the what's it called? He had gotten hit. He started bleeding. Barbed wire bat to the face. Looks like he took a barbed wire bat to the face. He's bleeding. He comes out and he's like, no. I want to come out and I want to keep on playing for these guys. So I really think that Puka is one of these guys that he's a tough nose guy. Kyron, I know he's not getting all the yards, but 77 yards. They're running hard. They're not abandoning the run. Like I know in the past, you and Vic have complained because sometimes he just not complained. You guys have pointed out that McVay likes abandoning the run. Again, the only thing I don't like is like Puka or Tutu Atwell takes that touchdown. He like starts celebrating and he's like one of the boys. And I'm kind of like, okay, dude, that's a little excessive. But because like he's like fist pumping and doing all this. I can't remember what college coach I saw over the weekend that was doing the exact same thing. And I'm like, God, this is kind of annoying. But it is what it is. That's always how Sean's been. But I do believe it. In the Rams, I think their defensive line has gotten even better. I think the only thing is, and I see them doing this, is they're going to trade for a corner. I think they're going to trade for somebody out there. They're going to trade for somebody in the back. Well, last year, even though he hasn't played very good, and the Chargers get a first-hand look at him this weekend, Marshawn Lattimore. He was a big time trade, but yeah, Denzel Ward's. Well, no, you know what, Brett Gilbert made a good observation that the Browns, for some reason, feel like they're just a quarterback away from being.
They just traded for a lineman. They got Cam Robinson today.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
like, burn the damn team, or at least the ones that won't be around next year.
So again, I'm very impressed with them. I think they Puka did a great job. I think this Rams team is hard. Like I think the two LA teams are going to be hard to beat. Like both of them are just hard nosed
Yeah, they're
defenses.
built the
They're
same
blue
way. Yeah,
collared. Yeah, they're blue collared type of teams that have great quarterbacks, and they're gonna beat you down. Obviously, right now, maybe before the season, everybody would have said the Chargers offensive line is better, but now I think it's shifted to the Rams. I think the Rams definitely have a better offensive line.
yeah. Based on who's
Gilbert,
available, yeah, yeah.
I know exactly. Gilbert, they're back.
Oh, my Chiefs.
The Kansas City Chiefs blow out the Ravens 37-20.
Last pick
They
by
get
me.
Xavier Worthy back. Gilbert, are they all the way back? 1, 2. There's a lot of attention on Twitter. Did Lamar Jackson quit the game and say,
Oh,
because we've heard in the past, Lamar has come out and said he hates playing Kansas City. It's always bad. It always
yeah.
goes the wrong way. People are saying that he quit, Gilbert. What is your analysis on both of those? Because I definitely think the Chiefs are back. I definitely think they
Yeah.
just took a 3-week hiatus. I still think that they have some deficiencies on their defense, and the Ravens have a lot of injuries on their team. But Gilbert, what did you see from that game yesterday?
Yeah, this is why I always kind of hesitate to shower the Ravens and the Bills with praise. Like, oh, they look so good. They look way better than the Chiefs. Come on, it's easy. Yeah, but try playing the Chiefs and get over the demons that you've had over the playoffs and other matchups. Try overcoming Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and Chris Jones. Like it's easier said than done. You could look stylish against the Browns. You could go beat down the Saints and the Dolphins, but when you play the Chiefs, it requires something different. And don't tell me about the injuries to the Ravens. Like the Chiefs have injuries too. People kept saying, "Oh, they look terrible with all these players." So, hey, it came to 1-2, 1-2. May the best team win, and that's what the Ravens put up. That's what Lamar Jackson does there at the end. And honestly, everybody was so thrown off, and I get it. He had the hamstring injury, but I was watching Red Zone on that, and they made it seem like he was quitting. And I think that's why a lot of people got the same interpretation of like, okay, what the hell is he doing on the sideline? It's like barely the third quarter, and you see Cooper Rush out there, and you see Derrick Henry playing, and they're getting blown out. Which to an extent, I get it. You weren't gonna come back, but it was a bad look, and maybe the hammy was a real deal, and you got to save your best quarterback for the long run. But regardless, the Ravens always feel like a letdown. They always disappoint, and then that loss in Week 1 to the Bills might come back and haunt you. That loss to the Detroit Lions kind of come back to haunt you. I get it. You're losing to very good teams, but at some point that's going to catch up to you. It's going to hurt you when it comes to playoff standings and getting back to the hunt because you could feel like you could get back in there. And I think they can. I think they're a good team to make it. But say it's December rolls around and you're 3 games behind, and you're thinking that Bills game would have helped us right now, or that Detroit game would have helped right now. This time does matter too. So to me, I don't know what it is with the Ravens. It's just not working. I'm still not buying the Bills. Obviously, to the Chargers to an extent, they haven't proven it either. But at least they beat the Chiefs in Week 1. They got good psyche right there. Everybody wants to write up the Chiefs. They're so tired of them. I get it. I understand it. But there's no dynasty demise until you beat them in the playoffs. They went to the Super Bowl for the third consecutive year, and we want to write them off. So to me, it's premature. I get it. People are frustrated, but they're not going anywhere. And that's without Rashee Rice. Xavier Worthy made a big difference. I said, I was telling Victor, watch out for Andy Reid to scheme up ways to beat up on this team when Xavier Worthy comes back. And they did it. I even said, Patrick Mahomes, you're getting so many passes for all your 3 Super Bowls and early in your career. Now it's time to put up when everything around you is crappy, when the surroundings aren't pretty, go be the quarterback that we think you are. And he delivered. So for the most part, it was a good day for the Chiefs. They still have a long ways to go. They're not a finished product, but I say from this question here, I think they fixed their offense more than the Ravens defense is this bad. I think the Ravens, when they're healthy, they're still bad defensively.
Yeah, no, I mean they've given up 30 burgers left and right. They got blown out. Something's wrong with Derrick Henry.
With the fumbles?
Yeah, something's off with Lamar. I think even offensively, I don't know what it is, but they just look out of sync. And the question is now, let's just say by some miracle they missed the playoffs. I wonder what John Harbaugh's status would be. And I feel like somebody would come up and snatch John quickly, but I'm really questioning because John even crapped on the offensive play call. Like he went at it over the offensive play call. He wasn't happy.
Wow.
So again, he defended his quarterback. He said he did not quit, that he's a guy that's an honorable guy. He's gonna want to be there to fight till the end. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, I'm not concerned about the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs have their great their coaching staff is just way too good. Again, in the playoffs, it'll be interesting to see what they can. Oh, there we go. I was wondering what this was.
On Monday until you see that.
Yeah. So I honestly, I just wanted to see where they were going to be at, and now that I've kind of seen it, I'm like, okay. I'm like, yeah, they're going to be good to go. So, again, teams just they're gonna have to win. The game that I'm really interested in, Gilbert, when it comes to the Chiefs, to see where they're really at, is that Lions game. That Lions game is going to tell us a lot about where Kansas City really is.
But the thing, Fernando, like we mentioned last week, the AFC is so overrated that they don't have to deal with the Eagles or the Lions to get to another
Yeah.
Super Bowl. Like,
Yeah.
I get that the Chargers might have a better team this year. I get even the Bills offensively are better, but I don't think the Chiefs are big underdogs against those two teams. Like the
No.
Colts, the Colts, yeah, we want to make them a thing, but they're not going to be a
No.
thing against KC. If the Ravens somehow make it back in, the Chiefs have their number. Say the Broncos get in, like big whoop. Nobody's worried about Bo Nix. It's just every year it seems like the AFC there's a path for the Chiefs to get there. Until somebody beats them in the playoffs, I'm not gonna say the sky is falling. The Eagles have their number. I'll say that they beat them up twice in the past year, but the Eagles reside in the other conference, so they're gonna be okay.
I'll tell you one thing though, their pass defense, and this is why Lamar struggled. Their pass defense is where I think they can be had. That's where they can be had. So that's why I'm interested to see with this new.
I know I'm getting going, Fernando, but like, but
Buffalo.
imagine you're facing the Bills and like, oh, here's Khalil Shakur and Keon Coleman. Like, what a big challenger for the Ravens.
No, I agree. I agree.
Secondary. It's just like matchup wise, it doesn't look that difficult for them. But if you, I get it, if the Chargers offensive line is healthy and you get Herbert at his A game, that's a problem. But other than that,
that's why I told you I believe
it.
There's only one team that can be, and I'm not trying to be a homer or anything, but there's one team we haven't seen them against in the playoffs. We have not seen them against one team we've seen what they've done to the Ravens, we've seen what they've done to the Bills, we've seen what they've done to the Texans are another team that have played them a couple times and they've been on the
road. They always lose by 10.
I know. So I'm interested to see what that looks like moving forward. But yeah, no, I definitely think Kansas City is back at it. Real quick, 40-40 tie on Dan and I couldn't go to bed until 12:30 at night.
Yeah.
What did you make? Is it like kissing your sister, or what did you think?
That's what I thought Jerry Jones was gonna say, but then I'm like, Jerry's the ultimate. Like,
did you hear what he said about Dak and Micah?
Yeah, and I honestly, it's so weird, but I'm kind of buying his crap. It's like he's like a carnival barker. He's a boxing promoter, and they kind of get you to think about like, yeah, Dak is more important than Micah. Like he's a quarterback, and to his credit, he was on his A game against the Packers defense, who we anointed way too early. But you could tell in his face he hated that tie. He was scared for his life seeing Jordan Love throw that pass and maybe get a touchdown right there. And honestly, maybe it should have fell and dropped with the clock hitting 0. But he was ready to celebrate. He had to find some kind of spin, some narrative, and I'll give Jerry a lot of credit, man. He always talks to the media. He doesn't shy away, good or bad, and he always finds a positive spin. I get it. It's delusional. It's weird, but I got to give the credit to that guy for something. Like, he builds good businesses. He builds good drama. He builds good talking points. But let's face it, you traded Micah Parsons. That's a bad look. Maybe you turn those second round picks into something. I'm trying to find the positives here for the Cowboys. I think the offense is good enough to make them a wild card team. If they go call Miami for Bradley Chubb or Jalen Phillips, maybe they get by to be a 7 seed, but that's all you're going to be. And I think to Jerry, he's going to hang up a banner saying, tied with the Packers, made the playoffs after trading Micah Parsons. That's all he cares about. It's a good enough win, and in his mind, it's good. But I hate ties. I hate watching them. I kind of was like hoping somebody would win that game. But to Jerry, he found some kind of prize there. Yeah, go ahead.
Like I told you, they did not. They were starting to replay. Remember, they got close. They were at 3 seconds. The ball, or he threw the ball at 2 seconds left. It hit the receiver's back at 1 second, and then they went back because they were going to kick the field goal. I'm like, all right.
Can you not challenge that or how the clock moves?
No, they can't. I don't think they can challenge that. But again, just real quick, I thought it was a good showing by Dak. The only thing is, I knew Micah was going to show his ugly face at one point, and it was at the end. On that second down, he gets that sack on him when everybody thought Dak was going to walk into the end zone. So, but good showing by both teams. I think we saw more from the Cowboys than we did the Packers for sure.
Yeah.
All right, real quick, Vic, you have one question to get Gilberto out of here. One question, Vic, that you want to ask both
one question, huh? Let me see what I have here. What would actually let's just talk
By
about.
the way, I saw what that guy commented on your post when you're like Bad Bunny.
Yep, that's what we're gonna go with.
I started. He's a Super Bowl halftime. I started laughing at that.
I've gotten a lot of nasty comments ever since, but yeah.
Yeah, and that was expected. So what let's kind of have a discussion here, a quick discussion. What does Bad Bunny performing at the Super Bowl mean for the culture?
Yeah, honestly, do me a favor, check out my story at si.com. I wrote about Bad Bunny being the performer at the halftime, and
it wasn't an you have one so he could write something about it.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's not an easy write because I also don't want to come off as like, oh, the only Latino who could write about this. But obviously, I know the topic very well. I know the meaning of him being there, the importance, and there are people are going to criticize me. They're going to call me a DEI hire. They're going to call me whatever you want to call me. But I felt the need to explain why you shouldn't care about Bad Bunny. It's okay if you don't like his music, but maybe it's okay to explain that there's a lot of importance here. It means a lot to a lot of people. It means a lot to people who speak Spanish or are immigrants or are Latino background. I don't think it matters where you come from, but I think to me, having somebody who's a little different, and it's okay to say, hey, we don't have to all have the same music taste. We don't have to all speak the same language. Like, hey, this guy's a superstar. He's a global icon. It's okay. Just like people didn't like Kendrick Lamar, or people didn't like Coldplay, or Bruce Springsteen, or Prince, or Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake. No one's gonna be happy. I get that part. The part is he is important to a lot of people because getting the Super Bowl in the United States is the biggest stage of all. If the NFL says, do you want this? You're probably gonna say, hell yeah, especially for somebody who has a Latino following, an audience worldwide, from Puerto Rico to Mexico to Colombia to wherever. People like Bad Bunny. A lot of white people tell me they like Bad Bunny. Like he's important to a lot of people because representation, culture, this climate right now doesn't make Latinos feel welcome because of everything. I don't want to get into right now because I got it going. Read the story at si.com. I try to touch all the topics here, the reasons why people don't like Bad Bunny, and I'm trying to explain why it's a good move. And not even just about my preferences and what people like. It makes sense for the NFL. You don't want to talk about politics or where you grew up. I get that. But how can you be in Ireland, Germany, Spain, Brazil, and then, hey, let's just have a bunch of American artists on here. And I get Puerto Rico technically the US. I get that. But the audience that he reaches is worldwide. You can't send our best players to Saudi Arabia to play flag football to promote the product, and you just care about one type of music. It has to be diverse. It has to be different musical acts. You want to grow the game. I honestly don't even care the NFL care. I don't think the NFL cares about the type of music or how to grow the game. All they care about is dollars. And Brazil said, you know what? You want to come back? Here's more money for bringing the game back to South America. That's what they care about. They care about money. It's not a political move. It's a smart move. It makes sense. It makes dollars. And for us people who do like the music, it means a whole lot. There you go.
There you go. Well, Karol G did the halftime show of
people lost their minds.
I still haven't seen it. I need to watch it. I was
it wasn't even that bad. She didn't do anything like provocative or anything. She was just playing Spanish music that people never. I know, but I remember hearing people say like, "Is that Shakira?" Like I can't even who is that?
Oh, that was. This is the second time Bad Bunny is going to be at the Super Bowl halftime.
She was there for. He was there for the J-Lo one, right?
Shakira J-Lo. Yeah, he came out for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited obviously because I'm a huge I've been to his concert in San Diego. I think he's great. I think people are going to complain about anything. Like I've been noticing that people are like, my guy is an overrated wrestler. I mean, the internet's just like a very toxic place. So I'm actually interested to see the way he's the whole dynamic, because it's obviously outside. the last time I saw his concert outside, like he did a crazy ass thing where he jumped on a cloud and he came all across like the whole stadium. He went over and like was near fans and everything. So I'm actually interested to see the way they're gonna do this. And then the greatest part is, like with us, Bad Bunny gave us 3 hours. I wonder how he's gonna be able to put a 2-hour show into 15 minutes. I think that's always very interesting to watch. But I'm excited to see him. I want to see what he says. But obviously, the thing that people get frustrated at is that ever since Jay-Z took over, like they're getting people that like nobody, like the demographic that everybody thinks is the demographic that watches the NFL, white people. They think that they're getting people that like white people don't know, which I mean, everybody knows Shakira. I think every culture can admit that Shakira is great. She's awesome. We all love her. But I mean, who was it? Kendrick Lamar, obviously. I thought Kendrick's show last year was great. I think this new generation of artists, they take it into a different area where they do a lot of different things. Like they make it into a whole spectacle, a whole show. It's a Broadway show. That's why I'm interested to see the way everybody does it. I think the one that kind of, well, no, I don't want to go that far because I don't know if maybe people before that did it, but like I remember Katy Perry had a fat ass lion out there, like
two sharks.
A bunch of people have had a bunch of stuff out there where you're just like, oh wow. Like J-Lo's and Shakira's was a little bit more just the normal stuff. I mean, you had J-Lo dancing on a pole, but other than that, I mean, there wasn't really anything crazy. But Kendrick's last year was like a whole play, Broadway play. So I'm actually interested to see the way Bad Bunny's going to do it. I think that his press conference, I think they should take a tally, because I think that concert, wherever they hold the venue for his halftime show press conference, that thing is going to be packed up the wazoo. Like this year, it was pretty packed for Kendrick, but I think it's going to be even more packed. Because if you notice, Gilbert, Mexican media or Latino media is very well represented during the Super Bowl. I mean, how many times don't we meet a bunch of Spanish speakers, whether they're from Spain, whether they're from different parts of the world? So it'll definitely be interesting to see. But yeah, no, I'm excited to see what Bad Bunny does. I know the problem is that everybody heard it was Adele, it was Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I think somebody had said Sabrina. I had seen some posts about Sabrina Carpenter. Then all of a sudden you flip and you go to Bad Bunny. So, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see what he's gonna do, and I can't wait to see what songs he throws out there. So definitely excited about whatever he throws, whatever he puts together, and I can't wait for that press conference. That's going to be a lot of fun to see what he says there. So yeah, interested. Can't wait. He's going to do something crazy. I already know. He's going to bring out a wrestling ring and he's going to wrestle.
Bring out Adam Sandler, to caddy for him this time,
Exactly. Yeah. Something crazy. I can't wait to see the artists that he brings out, because there's always a prop bet on how many artists are going to bring. So I'm interested to see who he decides to bring out there. But
made some classics like Daddy Yankee for Victor.
Oh, it's funny. The other one was Post Malone. I remember Herbert was asked by Mark Sanchez, Taylor Swift, somebody else. I can't remember the other artist, or it was Adele or Post Malone. He's like, I'm going to say Post Malone is the halftime show. So I thought Bad Bunny was going to do the LA one. I thought that was going to be the Bad Bunny halftime show, was the LA one, because I thought, oh, LA, Bad Bunny, like, there's just way too much. There. By the way, the Ryder's Cup stuff, man, those people confused the shit out of me when we were in New York. I was at a bar watching a soccer game, and I heard people cheering and celebrating, and there was golf, and I'm like, oh, okay, the U.S. must be up. Those guys must have been British, because I saw the British people. I saw Britain or Europe won that, so I was like, oh wow. I was like, okay.
You get all these people from Europe to get along for one golf event, but we can't get people in the United States to agree on one song. Like, come on.
Well, okay, but you're never gonna get everybody to agree on the artist. Like, you could have put Taylor Swift out there, and half of the demographic is gonna get pissed because they're putting Taylor Swift. So the only thing we can all agree on is Caitlin Clark has saved the WNBA. That's all I'm gonna.
With that, let's get out of here. Let's have.
All right. I appreciate you guys so much. Don't forget to check out the Four Compas show tomorrow. It wasn't pretty for my guy when he was in person on what's it called on Sunday, but he was excited to go see family. He's excited to be back, and he can't wait to jump on tomorrow. So the Four Compas will be back. We have a bunch of stuff getting ready to go. Gilbert, who you got? Jets or Dolphins?
I think I went Dolphins and the Broncos. So let's see if I go 2-0. Yeah.
All right, I'll go the opposite.
I wanted the Bengals just because on team content. I was telling Gilbert, I want to see if this team content.
Team content.
Like I want that content from you guys on tomorrow. If Denver falls to 1-3 as the Super Bowl, the Super Bowl, whatever, darling before the season that everybody kept saying. I can't wait for tomorrow.
They're part of my top 5 wins team, so I kind of need them to do something sometimes. Okay, but we'll see. Maybe tonight. But
who has the Bengals? Is it?
I think it's Dan.
Dan has a big.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. All right. Thank you guys so much. Gilbert, why don't you get us out of here?
Yeah, it's time to get going here. Check out everything we're doing. Combos on the beat. Check out everything Fernando does at Sporting Tribune and all over the place. Fernando does it all. Check out everything.
I might be doing Padres playoffs if they advance.
Padres playoffs, soccer, Ryder Cup. Fernando does it all. But it's time to get going. On that note, nos vamos, pues, vámonos.